week, same script. These frauds catch life every single game. Barcelona are right up there for the most big chances allowed in La Liga. And when teams get past the high line, when teams find themselves in great scoring positions, they become a deer in headlights. They don't know what to do. They get discombobulated. They're either shooting it off target or they're shooting it right at Joan Garcia. It makes no sense. Barca were not good today. Alaves could have got something from this match. These frauds. Alaves introduced me to a vibe that they could not maintain. Scoring in the first 90 seconds and then wasting every single opportunity after that. Ridiculous. If you're a Barca fan, be honest. There is no way that you are happy with that performance. You know that you're catching life. You know that you're getting away with it. And you know that this is not sustainable. Because how can it be that every single game, teams are creating 4 or 5 very good chances against you, and yet the lights are too bright? If this was against Real Madrid, Alaves would have scored more than 1 goal. When teams are going against Barca, it's like they're relaxed. They don't even defend that well. Their attacking is not that good. But when it's time to go against the big boys, the kings of Spain, the kings of Europe, everyone is giving their best. Everyone is playing against Madrid like their mother's lives are on the line. It is ridiculous. But a performance like this today is the exact reason why I'm not worried about winning La Liga. Because you're not going to be able to get away with as much as you have throughout the entire season. I tried to tell you guys about Ange Postecoglou, aka Hansi Flick, because that's what he is. He's just a Temu Ange. He is Ange Postecoglou with better talent. If Hansi Flick was at Tottenham or Nottingham Forest, he would have been sacked or relegated. Tactically, this manager is a fraud. It's not going to work. Second season Hansi Flick, there's always a fall off. There's a reason why Barca have not looked that good this season. And he's a big part of it because he doesn't adjust. He doesn't care. He's going to ride and die with that high line. And you know what? Long may it continue. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be in the comment section. Oh, it's lonely at the top. Keep it warm for me. Because like I have to keep reminding you, the big boys play tomorrow. The kings of Europe, the kings of Spain play tomorrow. You are the appetizer. You are the bread, the salad, right? That's what you are. The calamari. You are the potatoes. You are the broccoli. You are the French fries. Real Madrid, we're the steak, the lobster, the chicken, the hamburger. We are what people come to see and pay for. So keep that in mind because we're not losing. We're not dropping points against Girona. So it'll be lonely for me after we play our game in 24 hours. But you guys can enjoy holding on to the place for us until we kick off. But there's so much to get into because I am annoyed, right? Not only did Alaves miss chances, right? Barca did as well. Let's not act like Barca did not have opportunities. For example, Lamine Yamal hit the post, right? Dani Olmo could have had a hat trick, but he whiffed one opportunity. But I think with the chances that Alaves missed, if they would have capitalized on it, the game could have went completely different. But I need you guys to get in the comment section. Let me know who your man of the match was. What are your opinions on the game? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Barcelona 3, Alaves 1. And in my opinion, man of the match, I'm looking at either Lamine Yamal or Joan Garcias. I think La Liga officially gave it to Rafinha. I don't think Rafinha was better than Lamine Yamal today, right? He did have a nice assist, but besides that, what did he really do, right? Dani Olmo bagged the brace, so I know that his rating's going to be very high, but I don't think he was that good either, right? I'm looking at Lamine Yamal and the goalkeeper. Joan Garcia made an amazing save in the first half, right? Bro, Alaves could have went up 2-1. Joan Garcia is already on the floor. And that was an amazing save. I can't even lie. I can't lie. Look, Joan Garcia, I don't understand how this guy is not Spain's number one. I think currently he is the second best goalkeeper in La Liga, right? He's not better than Thibaut Courtois, but I think he will be in the future because Courtois is going to start to slow down eventually, and Joan Garcia is a lot younger. So Barcelona, this has been their best signing, right? They've got it spot on when they brought him in from Espanyol. Because today, if it was not for him and some of the things that he was doing in the box, Barcelona either lose or drop points. I think Lamine Yamal, okay, this guy has woken up today. He's no longer RKOing dwarves, okay? He's not body slamming the dwarves, all right? He's not moving like Snow White, okay? My guy cooked today. He was terrorizing Alaves' defense. The left back, the left center back were in hell today. More so in the first half, because I think Lamine Yamal in the second half, he slowed down a bit. But that first half, he was on their ass. They had no idea what to do. And defensively, Alaves looked all over the place, which is surprising because Barcelona have scored the most goals in La Liga. How are you not setting up better? The goal that Lamine Yamal scored to get the equalizer. How the hell does he have so much space to run into? How? This is Lamine Yamal. He's completely unmarked. This is what I'm talking about. When it's time to play Real Madrid, why don't teams give us that space? Why? The goal that Olmo scored to make it 2-1. Look at the space. Look at how, bro, nobody's even pressing. I don't get it. Alaves, they did score in the first 90 seconds. Like I said, do not introduce me to a vibe that you cannot maintain. And to be fair to Alaves, right? Nobody really has any high expectations for them. They're going to Camp Nou. They're sitting in the bottom half of the table. So I get it. But at the same time, you are professional footballers. When you are creating these chances, how are you not getting some of these shots on target, bruv? At least make Joan Garcia work. Like, he's a good goalkeeper. And if you get it on target, more than likely, he will save it. But at least make him dive to the left or the right. You're shooting it right at him. Like, what are we doing here? And then they get the dagger right at the death. I think Olmo got the second goal in added time, if I'm not mistaken, like right before the 94th minute. So, look, Alaves, they have nobody to blame but themselves. I don't think Barcelona were good at all, right? That back line is suspect. I am telling you this, right? I know that Pedri came back, was subbed on in the second half. Pedri had a decent cameo, right? But how Flick is playing, this is why Barcelona are not going to win the UCL. Because your tactics, it's just not going to work against the best teams, right? When you're going against Alaves, right? When you're going against these farmers in La Liga, then yes, you can get away with it. But you saw against Chelsea when they smacked that ass, it didn't work, right? You saw against Real Madrid when we slapped that ass, it didn't work, right? You saw against PSG when they slapped you, right? Barcelona should have lost more games this season, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of these teams blowing these opportunities, right? You should have lost to Girona, right? You should have lost some other games as well. Let's not talk about how many chances, right? Like I said, go check the stats. Barcelona are allowing they're up there. They're top 3, I believe, for most big chances allowed in La Liga. But let's talk about the individual performances, right? Like I said, my man of the match, Joan Garcia or Lamine Yamal. They were very good, right? Eric Garcia, I thought today, mid, right? Kubarsi, I actually thought that Gerard Martin was better than him. I think at left back, Alejandro Balde was there. this might have been one of his better performances, but he still has not kicked on as of yet, right? I thought Barca's midfield today was not good. Marc Casado is mid, right? And Marc Bernal, I am shocked at how poor he was, right? I rate Marc Bernal very highly. I think this kid is a baller. I think he has a good future. And I was surprised to see him start, right? Frankie de Jong was not available, so Marc Bernal started this match. He looked out of place. The first goal that they scored, Marc Bernal was the defender on that corner. Awful, right? I think on the ball, clunky, passing, did not look good. Now, I know that he just came back from an ACL injury, but he's been fit since the start of the season. He's been getting minutes since August, right? Now, obviously, I'm not expecting him to be phenomenal, but I definitely thought he'd be a lot better than what I saw today, right? I don't think he's really earned himself any minutes with this performance. He was hooked at halftime, I think, right? Like stinker and hooked for Marc Bernal. Dani Olmo, man like Megan Rapinoe, yeah, he got the brace. Didn't really do too much outside of that. Rafinha returned to the starting 11. I think his assist was a good one. His pressing was good. You know, he gives you energy. He is the best option that they have on the left wing. He is better than Marcus Rashford. But overall, I don't really think he did that much, right? But decent performance. I think Lamine Yamal, obviously, right, got a goal, got an assist. The kid's a baller, right? And he did have a bounce-back game. Did nothing against Chelsea. Then terrorized these Alaves defenders, right? Was cooking them in 1v1s, right? Also got the equaliser. And like we said, also got the assist as well. Lewandowski didn't do much, but I believe he got the first assist for Lamine Yamal. Now, when I'm looking at the subs, right, I think Rashford was brought on and Koundé at halftime. I mean, Koundé didn't make any mistakes today, right? Man like Koundé, he was solid. I don't really think he looked like a liability. Rashford, though. Rashford has fallen off a cliff, right? He had a very fast start to life at Barca, right? Was getting GA, was making the most impact in the final third. Where has Rashford been? I'm telling you right now, they are not going to extend or they might try to extend his loan, but Barca are not going to buy him permanently this summer. No chance, right? Barca can't afford to pay $30 million for Marcus Rashford when they also have to go get a striker and they also have to go get a center back. So I don't think Rashford, right, is living up to the expectations to possibly be bought. Let's be very honest. This guy was brought on at halftime and did nothing but cardio in the second half. Man was getting a light jogging session. No impact, no kind of threat. Just another guy out there, right? Pedri came off the bench, makes his return. I thought he had a good cameo, right? People are saying, oh, Pedri cooked. No, he didn't. Pedri was just solid today, right? Pedri had a good performance. He didn't cook, though, right? I thought, once he came on, I knew that this game was pretty much over because he's going to slow it down. He's going to control the tempo. And obviously, that does bode well for Barca. I think Ferran Torres, man like the tuna, the snack that smiles back, goldfish. Man like Torres, bruv, came on just like Rashford, did nothing, cardio session. And then they brought on Christensen, didn't really have much to do, right? I think if you're a Barca fan, and if you're going to be very honest, you're not happy with that performance. There's no way you're looking at that back line and you're saying that you feel confident, right? And what makes me happy is that because Barcelona are so broke, I know that you're not going to go into the January window and make any kind of impact signing, right? There is no saving that back line. Hansi Flick, spicy Ange, right? If you don't adjust, you are going to cost Barca this season. And I understand why this guy has not remained at more than one club for longer than 2 years, okay? The guy couldn't even stay with the national team for longer than 2 years. The system gets found out, teams learn how to play against it, and when you don't adjust, problems, right? But it's like I said, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. But let's look at the La Liga table, right? Currently, Barcelona are at the top, right? But like I said, the big boys haven't played yet, right? The best team in Spain has not kicked off their match this weekend. So once we get to the Madrid game, we'll go back on top. But like I said, Barca fans, they can hold it for right now, right? If you look at their form, last 5 games, only 1 loss, 4 straight wins. And their next opponent, like this was their easiest game. Their next opponent is Atleti. And then after Atleti, it is Betis, right? I believe. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, Atleti and Betis can do something for us to widen up the gap. But look, get in the comment section, like I said. Let me know what you guys are saying about that performance against Alaves. Smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications.